Hey guys, John here. Welcome back to another video. Today, guys, we are installing a little plug-and-play amplifier into my Tundra to make the JBL sound system that I have in this Tundra a bit more better. The JBL sound system in this truck is pretty decent. I have an amplifier under my seat and also a subwoofer in the back. But this little plug-and-play system that's actually good for a variety of different Toyotas is supposed to give us deeper bass, better treble clarity, and also some good vocals in the mid-range. So we're gonna go ahead and install this in the Tundra. I'm gonna listen to the radio before and listen to it after and give you guys my unbiased opinion. And if at the end of the video you wanna pick one up for yourself, a link with the discount code will be down in the description, and you can check out the availability for your Toyota vehicle on their website. So we'll take a quick look at to where I have my treble, mid, and bass. Now we'll go ahead and listen to some music real fast, and we'll do this test at 10 volume. So this is before, and now I have the microphone right here on me, so this is a good listen to vocals. Decent amount of bass. The treble and stuff with this system kind of like blends together. So what I noticed with the stock system with that is the vocals are decently clear, but once the cymbals and everything of the drum hits with the bass, it's kind of mushy and kind of just together as one. Let's listen to a podcast real quick. So this is a podcast that I like to listen to. If you guys care about entrepreneurship and stuff, he's super solid, man. So this is their intro. The bass usually hits pretty hard.
What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and
so here's his vocals.
Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society. And I think that we have
and
to be
for this, we are at 20. So I noticed with the podcast at 20, I had to turn it up because if I was trying to listen to that at the 10 volume that I was listening to that song at, they would be very hard to hear, especially while driving. So that was a good before and after. I can't do too much here on YouTube because of copyright issues, but I will install this system, show you guys how to install it, take a brief little listen. Then we're gonna drive the truck to the dealership so I can drop it off for its 5K mile, and I will drive like 40 minutes or so to the dealership and just really see how clear the audio is during that drive. So we're gonna have to gain access to the radio back behind here, and the very first step to do that, guys, comes over here. So we're gonna have to remove this panel. So you can take a panel removal tool. I'm gonna see if I can just pull this, which it seems like I can, because all just modern cars now are just snapped together, it seems like. Oh, well, I just pulled it from there. So this whole thing we will have to take off. Then we're gonna aim focus on our head unit to where we're gonna have to take this little cubby out. And bro, these trucks are just, that's a video for another time. But so this just pops out. Again, you can use a plastic removal tool, and then we'll have to I'm just gonna set it actually back over there. You can move this all the way out of the way if you want, but I'm just gonna set it right here. So with that out of the way, the last panel to remove is going to be right over here. So we're just gonna pull on this little guy to get that little plastic piece out of the way. So there's gonna be 1, 2, and 3, 4 10mm bolts holding the head unit into place. So just go ahead and get a socket, undo those, and then we're gonna place a towel right here so we can set the screen onto our shifter column without scratching anything up. So with the 4 10mm bolts out of the way, we're gonna pull the screen out. I have the towel down. Just be careful, because when you pull off the little side piece over here, it's gonna allow for the whole bezel to come out with it. So we're just gonna take the head unit out and just set it down right here, nice and easy. The gauge cluster bezel will detach itself, just be careful. And now I have the head unit down, all protected with the towel, and Toyota gives us a lot of room here with their harnesses, but the two that we're gonna focus on is this one and this one. So we have the two connectors that we're gonna tap into out of the way. Again, they are this one down here and this one down here. I undid these guys just to gain easier access to this black connector right there. Then we're gonna take our supplied harness by BeatSonic. The one thing that you want to make sure of is that this yellow connector right here, that it's nice and snug. So it's this yellow connector on the amplifier side right here. It's a yellow connector. When I pulled mine, it actually came undone. So in their video, it says to tug on this to make sure that it's in place. So mine actually came undone, so I'm just putting it back into place. So this is what we're gonna do for the radio. So we're gonna take our female side, male side here, connect into place, make sure they all snap. Male side from the harness that they provide, we will plug in to our OEM radio, and then we will do the same for the other harness. And then to ground it, we'll undo this bolt right here, right next to this fan, and put this in there and then tighten it down. Next, we'll plug in the amplifier, and for these gains right here, I just put stuff in the 12 o'clock position.
All
right, so it's working. We're testing it. I'll go ahead and pause this real quick.
I also feel sorry for them.
So I noticed right away that it was a lot louder. Even though the doors are open here, right? I noticed right away that it's a lot louder. So we will go ahead and put everything together. I just wanted to ops check it real quick to make sure that everything was plugged in and working the way that it should and nothing was too upset. So yeah, it's definitely working. There's a lot of space to work with back up in here. And again, depending on what Toyota vehicle you have, it may be different for you, how much space you have back there. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put some double-sided sticky tape on this, kind of push it all the way back, and then move my harnesses and make sure that they're out of the way, and then put the screen back into place. And for those Tundra owners, you can see where I put the amp just right up in here. That right there is the JBL speaker on our dashboard, and you can see there's kind of like a little shelf right here. So I just put 3M adhesive onto the amplifier and stuffed it back up under here on the shelf. There's some nice padding and stuff in there. And Beatsonic says that that amplifier does not get overly hot at all, so I should be okay with it right there. And when you're putting back in your head unit, make sure that this side right here on your driver's side, this is behind your speedometer bezel right there, because if you try to force it back in there after you undo it, you're gonna be on the front of this. So just make sure that your HVAC panel is back behind this little black piece right there. All right, and everything is in place. We have the screws up there, and like I said, tons of room for the harness, so just make sure you're doing everything slowly, putting it all back into place, and same with right here. If something doesn't line up, don't freaking force it, because we saw how plasticky this is to remove, right? But just make sure that everything is nice and tight into place. All right, so we're gonna start the podcast again with the heavy bass. I'll make sure that we are on 20. Oh, wow. That is very clean. Okay.
And it has come to be shown over the course of the last 3.5 years.
So a bit clearer with the audio. The bass freaking hit hard, and that was only at 20 too. So that is a very low volume on this truck. So the bass was definitely clear, but when the vocals came in with the bass hitting, it wasn't like everything was all muffled. But let's go back to the song now to see how that is. All right, so gonna make sure we're on 10. We're at 10. I like the beginning of this song, man. It sounds pretty good. Oh yeah. His voice sounds a lot clearer. I can hear the guitar, like the acoustics a little bit more. Hear the echo in the background a little bit better. But this is where we're gonna tell the difference. All right, we ready? Oh, I can hear that cymbal or that snare now. The bass like going longer through it. All right, so I'm not hyping this up at all. Like I've never been a music guy. Like I enjoy listening to my music, but I've never had like a proper system. And like this is a genuine smile. That's actually pretty cool that you could just plug and play this system, okay? And just listen to songs. Like I don't know why I really like this song a lot, but like I've listened to this song a lot. But for some reason just now, that was a lot different of an experience. And maybe it's just because like I was listening for things, but that sounded a lot better. But we're gonna go ahead, drive now. I'll just see how I am vibing out in the truck for the next 40 minutes to the dealership and see how it is. Bro, hits, insane. Well, to close out the video, guys, I got the Tundra 4Runner here at the dealership with it. That system bumped the whole way. The weather was great. I had the windows down too, just listening to the music. Everything was so clear, just you could hear the artists and stuff, and I turned it up way louder than I normally do too. So I recommend it. I only used it for a day, but I had smiles and stuff listening to the music and everything from that tiny little amplifier. Kind of crazy, to the point where I need to put sound deadening in my doors because they rattle quite a bit. So guys, links again and discount down in the description. I hope this video helped you guys out, and I will catch you all in the next one. All right, see you later.